lunch at Los Aljibes, we continued with our tour of the Alhambra and Generalife. This is the Torre del Cuba, a defensive tower on the walls of the Alhambra. This tower is part of the defensive belt of the Alcazaba, or citadel, and was built by Christians after they defeated the Moors. This area is accessed from the Alcazaba to a flea market. It is a tower without edges to serve as a cushion to the impacts of the cannonballs that were used frequently. It is attached to the wall that unites the Alcazaba with the palaces. So this place is called Torre del Cuba. Okay.
Imagine if in Lion King, that scene where they tell Simba everything that the light touches is yours. If it was a cloudy day, that would be a small kingdom.
It will be a small kingdom. Then he will say, "Can we reschedule for tomorrow when the weather's nicer?" Wow. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I mean everything's old. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's go in. Oh no,
jail.
we can't. That's the dungeon down there. That's where they put their prisoners. This is the Barrio Castranze, or military quarters of the castle, so called because this was where soldiers and servants were housed. The low walls were the foundations of the buildings that used to stand here. Barrio Castranze. A pretty small house. Oh wow, what is that? This is the Torre de las Armas, or the Arms Tower. It was already so called by the Moors, and it is located on the north ramparts, creating an angle with the lower ramparts of the Alcazaba. This tower was used as a way of communication between the Alhambra and the city through the neighborhood of the Almanzora. People entering the city of Alhambra would need to leave their weapons at the gate. So they must be heavily guarded.
Well, they were probably.
Look at those houses there. Over there, it's
Yeah, a lot of windows.
so pretty. This is the Torre de la Vela. The tower was built in the 13th century during the Nasrid dynasty, and the bell has always played an important role in daily Granadian life. The bell is an important element of this tower. Its chime used to indicate the farmers of the Vega, the meadow of the valley, the hours when they had to water the fields at night. The bell started striking at 8 or 9:30 p.m., and it kept doing so at different intervals with different chimes until 3 or 4 a.m., depending on the season. This bell was also used to call the inhabitants of Granada in case of danger. Nowadays, it is only on January 2nd that the tower and its bell are in the minds of all the inhabitants of the city. That was the date when the Catholic monarchs took the city, and the tradition says that every young woman who's still single and who strikes the bell will get married before the end of the year. The view from the top of the tower is marvelous, as it is possible to enjoy at the same time the city of Granada, the Sierra Nevada, the Vega, and the villages of the surroundings. The Jardín de los Adarves, or the Adarves Gardens, are located at the entrance of the Alcazaba. They are named for being located on the Law Adarve, or walkway of the fortress and is one of the places from which you can admire one of the most beautiful landscapes of the city. Not surprisingly, at the western end of the garden, there is a viewpoint from where the wall that joins the Bermejas Towers starts, a wall in which the famous verses of the poet Francisco de Icaza have been placed. And it says, Dale limosna mujer, que no hay en la vida nada, como la pena de ser ciego en Granada. Translated, Give him alms, woman, for there is nothing in this life like the grief of being blind in Granada.
Probably the Spanish word for tired. That is a thing.
Let's take this. That's Spook reincarnated. Spook reincarnated and came back here.
His name is Spook.
Hi, Spook.
So it's Spook.
Spook.
Kasi we're
You
in
mean
Spain.
Spook is here. He doesn't want to come back to the US. The Baño de la Mezquita, or Bath of the Mosque, is a Moorish bathhouse in the Alhambra. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is prayer. It is customary before praying to perform ablutions or cleansings. Mosques always provide a place to wash, but often hammams are located nearby for those who wish to perform deeper cleansing. But it is also popularly called Baño del Polinario, or Polinario Bath, by the nickname of guitarist and singer Antonio Barrios, father of guitarist Angel Barrios. This family lived from the 19th century in a neighboring house and managed a tavern installed in this bathroom. Said Polinario Tavern became a benchmark in the world of flamenco in Granada during the 1920s. Palacio de los Abencerrajes. The Abencerrajes Palace was organized around a large courtyard, which was still visible in 18th century architectural plans, which had a large pond and 2 symmetrical flower beds. It was probably built between the 13th and 14th centuries. It was partially excavated in 1957 and later between 1990 and 1991. Napoleon's army destroyed the palace when it blew up the walls of the Alhambra. So, this is the surrounding of the dungeon, situated to the east of the gardens of the Secano de Alhambra. So they are actually renovating and upgrading this area to prevent it from infiltrations and collapse. So they used their underground to store cereals, salt, other products, but in certain cases that ended up being cellars of incarceration, so they had prisoners in here. So down below, there's a bird up there in the tree. It's gone? Did it fly? Where are you? Birdie, birdie. It flew away. You didn't get to eat the apple. is the Palacio del Generalife. It became a leisure place for the kings of Granada when they wanted to get away from the official affairs of the palace.
Was a summer palace and country estate of the Nasrid rulers of the Emirate of Granada in Al-Andalus.
So it's a summer house for the rich and famous.
Wanna go up there?
Escalera del Agua. Any fruits and fountains. In summary, it was a day well spent at the Alhambra and Generalife here in Granada, Spain. There's so much beauty and grandeur in this place. Tickets were about $17 or 15 euros each. You should come visit when you get a chance. Alright, catch you in my next vlog, fam!